Hey everybody, it is Andrew back here. I want to quickly go into and touch on the stock markets and just how big of an impact this is having here. So everyone is impacted by this in one way or another, whether you've got a 401k or what have you. I want to talk to you quickly four main things in this video and how I think we will all be impacted by these four things. I want to talk about oil and gas prices, food prices, interest rate, and will Donald Trump get reelected? The big question. And just FYI, back 4 years ago, when Donald Trump was coming down the escalator to declare he was going to run for president, I called that he would win. Just FYI, maybe that's a feather in my cap. He was about 30-1 at that point to get reelected according to the betting odds. And I saw the trend and I predicted he will win. And I'm going to tell you whether I think he will this time or not. Could be totally out to lunch, but based on trends that I'm seeing, here's what I'm thinking on that as well. So right now, just as a quick background on the stock market, the stock market has gone down roughly 30%. The Dow Jones has gone down 30% in the matter of a little over a month. That is astronomical, the amount that has dropped for such a short period of time. To give you a reference point, back in 2008, over that time period of roughly a year and a half, the markets went down roughly 50%. We're already at 30 and we're only a month in here. So there's been a big move, and I foresee this being a bigger crisis than 2008, unfortunately. And if you watch my channel, you know I'm an optimistic by nature. I am. I'm a glass half full. But I'm calling it as I see it, and I'll give you my rationale on why I say something like that. And just as an FYI as well, I worked with a bank for a while. This is an interest of mine. I have this, you can say whether I'm accurate or not or whatnot, but I have an interest in this. I do like following it. Here is my opinion for what it's worth. So the reason why I think this is going to be a bigger crisis than last time is a couple of reasons. Number one, the impact to the industries are going to be so much wider here than 2008. In 2008, the main problem was housing and banking. Those were the two main impacts. It did spill over, but those were the two main industries. This time around, no one's escaping, unfortunately. No business is going to escape this one. Now, the government's going to come in. They're going to start throwing money to everyone to bail people out and companies out. That's going to happen, just a matter of time. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of issues, whether that be in hotels, airlines, restaurants, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on the impacts here. So this is going to be a bigger recession than 2008. So we're going to lose likely more than 50% in the stock market. Now, having said that, I think we're going to get a dead cat bounce here over the next couple of months. Just means that things are going to come back a little bit, but then they're going to go right back down again, at least in my opinion. So, and another reason why I think things are going to be worse is because this coronavirus is not going to go away quickly. And if it does go away and we start seeing the cases drop off, which we will see here, thankfully, over the next little bit, I think anyways, I'm not a medical person, but I think that's going to happen. The fear is, though, that it's going to come back again. So it may leave for a bit, but the fear will be that it's going to come back again, maybe after the summer or something like that. So that fear will always be there. And people in the stock market do not like uncertainty. Uncertainty is terrible. So when you have that cloud overhanging, that uncertainty that this may come back, that's going to keep people out. So just that is something to keep in mind. Another little tidbit here is that we've got so much more debt as an economy, whether that be in Canada or the US or anywhere in the world. There's so much more debt, whether that be with companies, governments, whatever. The impact there is when you've got a lot more debt and you start losing income because of this coronavirus, it's just like, I'll put it this way, if you're working paycheck to paycheck, which when you've got a lot of debt you are, and you don't have income now, you lose your job or whatnot for a couple of months, things get pretty tight pretty fast. And that's what's happening with the economy, or will happen with the economy, is that when you've got a lot of debt and you don't have income now coming in, like the cruise ships and stuff like that, it's going to be a problem here. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Going into oil and gas prices, The one good thing here is oil and gas are going to be dirt cheap. They're going to be giving this stuff away here soon, the way things are going. That's going to be good for the overall economy, as long as you're not affiliated or associated with the oil and gas as your job. But for those people, that'll bring down prices for food prices, for everything. It'll bring down prices. Food prices are going to come down. Your US dollar is going to get very, very strong. I know that the US government are going to be printing a lot of money to issue lots of loans and stuff like that, but at the same time, every other country is doing the same thing. So your food prices, your oil and gas, your cost of living is going to come down. At least for the short run, it's going to come down. Interest rates as a whole, we are already seeing that. So your cost to borrow, whether that be mortgages or whatever, they're coming way down over the next little bit to try and stimulate the economy, and already have come way down. And now the last part, Trump getting reelected. Now, I'm just telling you this is my opinion. I'm not saying whether I'm in favor or not. If you watch this channel, you know the answer, but I'm giving my honest opinion that he was a shoo-in. He was a shoo-in until this whole pandemic took place. He was a shoo-in. In my opinion, he was a shoo-in. Now, this is throwing a wrinkle big time into that, because he can't go on to the stock market trade saying that, oh, look at your 401ks, how well they've done. So now it's a little more dicey. It's a little more dicey for him to get reelected. Now, I do still think he's going to get reelected, and here is why. For the average Joe looking into this, as long as they make prudent decisions in terms of trying to contain this and whatnot, he's going to get a little bit of a sympathy card on this, I do believe. So what I mean by that is that people are going to say, well, this wasn't really his fault, which it isn't. He did, I'm sure he's going to make missteps, or he has made missteps, but I think that's going to be the overall tone, where it's not going to be, well, he caused the stock market to go down with his policies or whatever. I feel that that's likely the case. I'm not as certain as I was maybe a month ago of him getting reelected, but I would put the odds right now at about 70 to 30. If I were going to lay odds on this, 70% says he gets reelected, 30% he doesn't. Now that's as of today. Things could change, but that's how I see it. And you can make your own judgments on whether that's going to be good for the economy, good for you personally. I'm not weighing in on that, but that's what I'm seeing. Unfortunately, as I'll say, I think things are going to get worse before they're going to get better. In the short term, things are probably going to pick up here and maybe get a dead cat bounce in the stock market. So if you're sitting on some investments, and I'm not giving you financial advice, I'm just giving you my 2 cents, take it for what it's worth, but I think things are going to bounce back slightly here over the next little bit. But unfortunately, over the next year, we're going to go into a deeper recession than 2008, meaning that the overall stock market is going to lose more than 50%. I think that's what's going to happen. So anyways, hopefully that helps. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. Let me know in the comments what you think's going on. What are you seeing on your side of things? What do you think's going to happen? Do you think Trump will get reelected? I know that's a hot button issue, but we might as well talk about it anyway. So all the best in your teaching, and I'll be back with another video. Please subscribe to my channel. I do lots of different videos, mostly on VIP Kid. This one took a little bit of a turn in a different way. So all right, talk to you soon, and like my videos.